Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, Iran had their final round in their presidential election. We got the new dictator, and honestly, a lot of people hate that I use the word regime and dictator. And I want to kind of clarify that, I don't think Iran, I made it clear in the last episode, Iran has the same regime that it has always had during the Islamic Revolution. I'm aware of that. But who's actually running the regime? That's a different story. Okay? Essentially, it's comparable to Kim Jong un. Apparently, Kim Jong un's regime is no different to Kim Il sung's regime, which he's the original founder of North Korea, the original Kim regime. So this is no different compared to the likes of, I would say, Vladimir Putin. He's probably the only regime that he brought upon himself. It's not really a dynastic rule. But yes, let's talk about Iran. Masoud Pezeshkian, as you know, has been declared the winner, coming from the Reformist political party. As you know, it's our centrist political party. And he defeated Saeed Jalali, coming from the Principalists, and this is the far right-wing political party. And we made it clear in this channel, we endorse no candidates because Iran is not a good country. I believe the people of Iran are good people. And there are some people in Iran that support the regime, and we don't endorse those people. But we believe that that the Iranian people are generally good, kind, caring people. And a lot of Iranians do not support this regime. But the people running in the government, who knows? Masoud Pezeshkian, we never know. He could be a good person in his personal life. But because of the authoritarian government in Iran, the world's going to see him as a monster. Because let's remember, Masoud Pezeshkian is the one running behind closed doors, but the Supreme Political Council in Iran is essentially the head of state. There's also the Ayatollah. So really, Pezeshkian doesn't really have complete power like we all would believe. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's a dictator. No. The real dictator is the Supreme Council and the Ayatollah. Even the Ayatollah has very little. Let's see. I want to check, because list of world leaders and current heads of state, because it will directly tell us how Iran runs. So, yes, Iran has two leaders. The supreme leader is Ali Khamenei, and he's the one running all these things, okay? He's under green, and the green basically says, the green cell indicates leaders whose office is constitutionally administered, the executive, or the respective state government. So he is head of state. He technically has some say in, as you know, executive orders. So really, he's the main dictator, if you come to think about it. But the supreme leader is not elected. I want to believe the supreme leader is I don't know how they choose their leader. I don't know if it's hereditary, but yeah, he's the one running all this. And yes, we have the president-elect, Masoud Pezeshkian. He, as you can see, doesn't have a blue cell or a green cell. So ideally, he's just a symbol head, doesn't really have much power. But yeah, I'm sure he gets to address the crowd, condemn certain world leaders and world powers, something like that. But yes, this is the new president, Masoud Pezeshkian, the president-elect of Iran. He won 54.76% of the popular vote. Provinces, this is the first round results. They finally came out with the first round map. But yes, provinces in the first round in bluish green, whatever you want to call it, blue, I would say blue in this case, are carried by Pezeshkian, while provinces in red, the far right candidate representing Jalali, are in red. They go to Jalali. So like more central Iran, as more areas like Azerbaijan, because believe it or not, Azerbaijan's also right here. Iranian Azerbaijan's right here. That area will go to Pezeshkian. Khuzestan, the region along the Iraqi border, is mostly dominated. Mostly, you could say this part of, I think it's Khuzestan, I don't know. But yeah, Khuzestan is disputed between Pezeshkian and Jalali, and then you'll have other areas like this area. This is disputed between Pakistan, I want to believe. But yes, that goes to Pezeshkian. But it seems like more areas, more disputed areas, are turning away from the radical party, and that's the party representing Jalali, the principalists, and turning more to the centrists. And we know there's is kind of saying that like a centrist, it seems like there could be more kind and said more favorative to the West, but we know that that's not going to be the case because Putin is a centrist in his own government. He's an independent, and he varies back to communist and far-right political parties. He works with them, and he's enjoyed by many in these pro-Russian groups. And so, yeah, he's a centrist, but as you know, he is very anti-West, and you can see he is a dictator. So, yeah, the same should be. Yeah, Masoud Pezeshkian isn't going to make Iran a friendly country, and he has very little influence in his country. It's the Ayatollah, and as long as the Ayatollah, I think the Ayatollah will always be a monster in Iran, and sort of like how the Kim family will always be a monster in North Korea. As long as that position, that dynastic rule, still exists, that's going to be the case. Yeah, so voter turnout actually went up 10 points. I don't know if Iran got on their backs, because we know some countries, like Belgium, everyone's forced to vote. Everyone has to vote. But you would expect an authoritarian regime, I would say a regime country like Iran, and to kind of enforce that. But what we're seeing by turnout, it doesn't look like you have to vote in Iran. But yes, I think, but we are not denying the fact that voter turnout raised close to almost 10 points, but not exact. Yes. The first round was the lowest participation of a presidential election in Islamic Republic history, over 8 points lower than the previous record of 48.48% in 2021 presidential election. On the 6th of July 2024, yes, they declared Pezeshkian the winner. So I do want to go back to saying, yeah, reason why turnout was so low, because not all Iranians agree. Not every Iranian supports the regime. Well, you're basically exposing 39.93% of Iranians participating in your so-called democratic process, and we know their version of democracy is very different. Their terms, a democracy is a country where you get to vote and you don't and the king doesn't have much power. But They don't believe in freedom of speech. They don't believe in freedom of religion. That's really the democratic principles. But no. It's more about authority over. They believe democracy, in order democracy, quote unquote, can exist, we need authority. We need authority to reign first. So they kind of force the rules and kind of making it like everyone must be a Muslim. Now, would they force you to be a Shiite Muslim? I don't know, but the government is in favor for Shiite Islam. Very favored to Shia Islam. I would imagine there would be some lingering Sunni Muslims along Pakistani border, more of the said area, but you're guaranteed to be a Muslim. In fact, you will be persecuted if you aren't a Muslim or a Shiite Muslim, because there is persecution among Sunnis, believe it or not, that aren't Shiite. So yes, a very discriminative country for against people that do not share the same rhetoric as the radical Iranian. So, what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.